Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lost Gaming. Last time we cleared our first dungeon together, so let's move on today and let's do a little bit more story. Since the only party member we've still got right now is Black Rose, let's go ahead and invite her to the party just to make things a little bit easier for us. And like I said, there's no real reason not to. Alright, so we know that this one is a protective area that you're not supposed to be able to access. And then there's this one where there is a girl dressed in white. So let's hit this one first. We'll save the protected ward for next time.
I came after reading the board, but the operator turned me back. I guess we can't play here.
And as you can see, there's something wrong with this field. It's our first person view so we can look around. As you can see, the sky is kind of broken. There's a lot of, looks like code just floating around. It's just a very weird situation where something just doesn't look quite right, does it? But since we're here, why don't we just gather a few things on our way to the dungeon. Because of how long it went last time, I'm not going to clear everything like I did last time. We're just going to hit up whatever we can on the way to the dungeon. If we run into a monster porter, we'll take it out. Definitely do want to hit the Spring of the Mist before we head into the dungeon, just because it's always worth tossing it in there, even if you're just wanting to get some golden axes and silver axes.
Did you loot? What? Let's see. Just with the weapon of this level, go to in consolation. Till next.
But I mean, as you can see, because of the way that we've been doing a little bit of grinding, taking our time and killing as many enemies as we can, even for here we're a little overleveled. But as I've mentioned before, trust me, it is worth taking the time and doing a little bit of grinding, because this game gets unforgiving very quickly.
Thank you for playing the world. This area is currently unstable and not functioning properly due to corrupted data configurations. Please return to the field immediately and gate out to the town.
No, if I give up now, I'll never be able to help him. I must continue on.
Yeah, good job programming. Just say it's off limits and then let me literally run around the admin character and continue on to the dungeon. I'm sure that's how it works in real MMOs too. And as you might have noticed, I also did not pick up any more fairy orbs while we were in between recording sessions. Yeah, that's just going to make this a little bit more... We're just going to explore this dungeon together, I suppose, and we'll see if we make the right choices or if I waste our time. Don't find many of these in the dungeon, but when you do, definitely worth it. So far, made the right choice.
What? You wanna...
You'll probably notice me doing that a lot too. It's very easy to get your cursor on one of your party members instead of the item that you want, and if you are rapidly pressing X like the game pretty much programs you to do, you're going to wind up talking to your party members a lot in ways that don't actually really help you. It's just a standard conversation every time, and it just tedious. Alright, so far made a lot of good choices. Alright, so you also notice something a little different here. Never seen a room that's got that black smoke like that before, have we? I think you all know what this is probably going to mean. This will be our first real boss encounter. So if you remember from earlier episode, that's a data bug. As long as it looks like that, you cannot kill it. No matter how much damage you do to it, its HP is glitched. However, once you've gotten the protect break on it, then you can use data drain get the virus core from it, and now it can be defeated. I like data draining it a second time just to add insult to injury for something that was supposed to be a boss, just taking care of it.
Wow! Cool! I can't believe you defeated the monster by rewriting its data! Oh! Did I hit a nerve? Should I keep my mouth shut? I came because I read a post about it on the board and it sounded interesting. But this place looks so weird, even if the data is corrupted. It's too weird. Well, anyway, ever since the server failure, it's all going downhill. There's something going on. What? Oh, damn it! I burned dinner. Oh well, gotta go. Oh, I almost forgot. Invite me to your party next time. Let's do this again, Kay.
So now we've got our next party member's member address, Mistral. This is also what I was talking about before, about how the game will kick you out of the dungeon right back to...
He of fair eyes!
And now, possibly my favorite character, but one who is generally not liked through the series, Heroes.
Huh? I trust your eyes. I have a favor to ask. A player I know is being harassed by a wicked monster in Delta Indiscreet Gluttonous Pilgrimage. I will vanquish the wicked monster, and I want you to bear witness. You will do that for me. You will? I knew you would say. I will be waiting for you at Delta Indiscreet Glutton.
Alright, but before we do that, let's head into here. Let's sell some of this stuff off. You can usually make pretty good money selling these spells that you'll get in a dungeon. I find most of them to be pretty useless, but you might want to keep the ones that will actually do damage. It just saves you from having to buy them from the magic shop. Suppose while we're here, we can store the golden axes and the silver axes. Alright, and before we head on, and since we've got us a new party member, let's take a few minutes and gather some equipment so that when we call Mistral in, she can get powered up pretty good. As you can see, that got us a pretty decent amount of equipment for Mistral. Don't think I've got any decent armor former, and while this is usually, yeah, there's no armor there, so that's not really
Yeah?
worth it, but as you see, sometimes more characters will move through. And that's the character I was talking about. With some silver axes and golden axes, you can get really high level equipment. It's just something that's going to take some time. In the meantime, let's call Mistral in. Let's give her some equipment and let's get her. So both of these are level 4 weapons. This one's got a little bit more accuracy for magic, so we'll give her that instead of the air wand.
What now?
So we've got her powered up pretty decently now. So, since we got the new keyword from Heroes, and this is a little bit more on our level, it'll be a good place for Kite and Black Rose to go, and for Mistral to get leveled up.
Is
As you can still see, monsters on this field, on the surface, aren't really any kind of a threat to us. experience. She's not going to be much of a frontline fighter as a wave master, but her magical abilities will be really useful later in the game. The only thing that does get a little bit annoying is because her character is not designed to be a frontline fighter. Unless you are specifically giving her commands to use skills or to fight, most of the time she will just stand in place during battle and won't really be of any kind of help. It's not such a big deal when she's solo leveled and you actually want her out of harm's way. But once you get stronger and she gets stronger and you're really relying on her magical abilities a little bit more, it's very easy to forget that she will not really do anything unless you are very specific. Just to give you an indication, what you can do is you can come here to Mistral, you can designate a skill for her to use, and she'll cast a spell. When she actually does stuff like that, and you've designated it, really useful. She can hit enemies a lot harder and a lot more accurately than you generally can. However, it's a thing where she won't do it in the next fight. She will only do it every time you designate that skill. As I said, not a big deal right now. Me and Black Rose are a little bit over leveled for this area because I took some time just to do a little bit of grinding. But there is definitely an intense difficulty spike in this game, and the series in general, where it just gets really unforgiving if you don't take some time and get properly leveled up. And as you can see, we've done a pretty good job clearing, just clearing out this field. It didn't take us very long to do. just from clearing the field, we've taken Mistral from level 1 to level 3. And she's almost to level 4 already. So it was definitely worth it just to get her a little bit more powered up so that she can be more useful to the team. And so since the field's now cleared, let's head into the dungeon. As you can see, Pyros wasn't really all that helpful in telling us where to meet or what we were doing. He just told us come to the dungeon. And now that we're here, he's nowhere to be found. Alright, I'm not going to visit every room like I did last time in the last episode, but I am going to open all of the dungeon portals just because I want to get Mistral powered up pretty good. If you come across them, always make sure you pick up golden eggs. Those are extremely valuable grunty food that will make the grunty raising side quest that we'll get to eventually a whole lot easier. And also, that's what I was talking about make sure you're always paying attention. I wasn't and opened another risky treasure that exploded on me. Don't do that. Pay attention to what color the treasure chests are and just make sure you open them right. This dungeon is really burning through my antidotes a whole lot faster than I had anticipated it. But I mean, overall, as you can see, it's been a pretty easy dungeon. If you take the time to get your equipment up through trading, it doesn't take too long to get leveled up good and get strong enough to be safe for quite some time.
He of fair eyes, bear witness! You're not gonna beat me! I am quite a new man today. You think you can defeat me? Reveal your true powers!
Is he all right? I bet.
Stay back!
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and take care of this. Of course, I don't have the spell that I wanted. So yeah, don't really have what I had wanted to use.
Brandish! Brandish!
But overall, it was still a pretty easy victory. And once we data drained him, super easy. Yeah, so now we've kind of hit our limit for items.
Oh, thank you.
Until...
And so now we've got our newest party member's member address, Pyros. As you can see, Kite's not quite so sure about him, but he just is one of my favorite characters in the game. He's just very unique to me, and I just really enjoy his character. Alright, but with that, we will call this episode to a close. This is my first time doing this, but we'll read these next time. But
I'll read my.
it's not letting me, so we got to read these first. So we got us an anonymous warning telling us to stop looking into the server problems if we want to continue playing. We've been told that we are a winner of a prize that CC Corporation is giving away. so we can take a look at that later. So as you can see, I didn't go over this before, but you can change your emails that you send, and sometimes it'll get you different responses. In the meantime, what do you guys think about these longer episodes? I had originally intended to do them about 15-20 minutes long, but they've been running a lot longer than I had intended for them to. Do you like this format, or would you like to see me start cutting them into smaller bits and maybe even breaking up dungeons sometimes if the episode's running long? So let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.